Hi Virgo, welcome to June. This is Teresa from Tarot by T. And this month we have a full moon in Sagittarius on the 3rd. June 6th, Venus moves into Leo. And then on the 11th, your ruling planet Mercury moves into Gemini, where it's really strong. It's at home there. June 17th, Saturn goes retrograde in Pisces. And on June 18th, we have a new moon in Gemini. And on the 30th, Neptune goes retrograde. And we'll talk about those things later. Let's see what the cards say for Virgo. What does Virgo need to know about love and relationships for the month of June 2023? What is coming up for Virgo for June 2023? What is coming up for June 2023 for Virgo? What does Virgo need to know about love and relationships? Okay, let's see what we get. The Ace of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, the Justice card, the Strength card, the Seven of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, the Death card, Six of Swords, the Knight of Swords, the Four of Swords, and the card at the bottom of the deck is the Empress. Interesting. Okay, so love is on. You've got the Ace of Cups here. This represents a new seed, a new beginning in a relationship or a new love on the horizon. And as a time card, the time frame is June, July, August. Although I think it's more like June, July, maybe the end of June. Looking at the cards. Now you have the Knight of Pentacles crossing this, so I feel that you could possibly connect with an earth sign like yourself. I'm also seeing air, so Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, but even Taurus, the Empress is here. There are many, I don't really want to get into actual signs, but the energy of the Knight of Pentacles, this new love, I feel like you're going to want to take your time with this, because I think you might still be recovering from a past situation that ended. And the Knight of Pentacles, as a person, the Knight of Pentacles is someone who's very down to earth, a good worker, comes to work every day, is reliable, steady, not really interested in taking risks, wanting to take things one day at a time, take a slower approach. And that could be the person that you're dealing with, but it could also be your energy, because I feel like you're still healing from something from the past. You have the Justice card as the basis of the question. So the Justice can represent some kind of legal situation that is being sorted out. Maybe you've gone through a separation or a divorce, or you just may have, it could be a karmic situation. Justice can relate to karma. If you're waiting for, a verdict or an outcome, justice, and this is in the past, so you probably already got the answer. If you're splitting property or dividing assets or something like that, justice represents a decision that goes in your favor and a fair outcome. But it's also a card of karma. So if you're thinking that someone has gotten away with something, don't try to retaliate. Don't get involved in being the angel of vengeance, because the universe, the way we are, the energy that we're living in today, people are getting what they're just deserved. Desserts, as they say, they're getting their karma quicker than in the past. Things are happening at a faster pace. So if someone has done you wrong and you think, oh, they're going to get away with it, no, they're not. You may not see it, but you know, everyone pays for their sins. Everyone pays for what they do. Whatever you put out there is going to come back to you. That's why it's always good to operate from the positive, from a place of positive energy. Because that way, if you put positive energy into the world, it's going to come back to you. You're going to get positive energy back. If you get caught up in anger and revenge, you're only going to, increase that. And you don't want to do that. So just let it go. You've got the death card here. That doesn't mean physical death, but it means releasing the past, releasing a cycle that's no longer, that's gone. It's over. You have to admit it. You have to accept it. A cycle has ended, and you need to release it. Bless it for whatever it taught you. We all learn lessons. Things happen, like life is, a series of ups and downs. When you're riding high, everything's great. You're feeling good. And then when you have difficult times, those are lessons. And life would be boring if everything worked out perfectly every time. You need those challenges to make you feel like you've accomplished something. You need those, because this place is a school. We're constantly learning. And we need the challenges. We've even chosen them. If you believe in reincarnation, we choose our path. We choose the challenges that we're going to go through in life so that we can grow spiritually as spiritual beings. So a lesson has ended, a karmic lesson, and you've learned, hopefully, you've learned. Because the worst thing you can do is not learn from the past, because then you're doomed to repeat it. If you learn your lesson, then you're more aware the next time around. So I feel like something has ended. I'm getting the energy of you're still recovering from an ending. You have the Strength card here in the recent past. And that could be, you could have been dealing with someone who had anger issues. Either that could represent the other person, it could represent your own anger. Where you're learning how to release your anger in a healthier way. Or you're learning, the other person could have had anger issues, problems releasing anger. You could have been dealing with someone that had some psychological issues, someone who needed counseling. With the Strength card, now this could be you or your partner. The person feels a deep-seated insecurity, and they really need to love themselves. Maybe they had a horrible childhood and they didn't learn to love. They didn't realize that. They didn't learn that they are valued. They didn't learn that you're loved for who you are. And not what you do. And it doesn't matter what you do. You're worthy of love. That doesn't mean that you go around being mean to people, but what happens is when people don't learn that, when children learn that I will only be loved if I'm serving someone else's needs, then they get caught up in toxic relationships where they're doing all the giving and they're not getting anything back. Or they feel inadequate in some way. And then they overcompensate and they're angry and frustrated. And that anger comes out. Instead of saying, hey, I'm hurt, I need love, I need to feel loved, they get angry and they get volatile. So I feel like that could have been you or your partner, the person you were involved in. But that influence is ending. I feel like you've learned some lessons in that situation. And I think now you're in this healing process. You're moving away from that. And you have an opportunity for a new beginning. You've got the Seven of Pentacles coming up in the future. That is about planting seeds and seeing where things are going to go. So it's possible that you met someone new, or you're going to be meeting someone new and wondering, okay, where's this going to go? Because it's a new thing coming in. I'm still reeling from the past thing. Don't let the past person, don't let the current person pay for the sins of the past person. And that happens a lot in relationships where, you're like not trusting the new person because of, let's say you were with someone that was dishonest or had issues. You're going to be suspecting, checking the new person, are they going to have the same issues? So I feel like you could be on a new path in love. The only thing that's stopping, and it could lead to abundance. You have the Empress here. Justice. So I feel like if you've been through a difficult relationship, and this may not be for everyone, this could be a specific thing, you have a chance for a new beginning, to have a more nurturing environment, a more nurturing relationship. Someone that can be almost like a mother to you, in a sense. Like the Empress is the mother. You could either be mothering someone. Maybe that was the problem in your last relationship. Maybe you were taking care of your partner too much, more like a mother instead of a lover. But I feel like the Empress is also, it's a card of abundance and birth, giving birth. So if home and family are important to you, if feeling nurtured, feeling like you're creating this happy home, that's what you want, I feel like you can have that. You have an opportunity for a new beginning with someone who's a little bit less volatile. Someone who's more down to earth, because that Knight of Pentacles is very down to earth. They're not, unpredictable and reactive and reckless. That's not their energy. That's this person's energy, the Knight of Swords. So coming up in the future, you have the Queen of Swords. I think that's your energy, because you've been burned in the past, and now you've got the wall up. And now you're a little bit cynical. So when this new beginning comes in, you're like, well, I don't know. We'll see. Let's see where it goes, because I don't know. You're going to be like really being hypercritical or hyper vigilant, I should say. Waiting for the other shoe to drop. So if the person could be wonderful, and you're like, oh, okay, you're nice now, let's see what happens later, because you've learned some lessons. But really, you have to release the past. The death is saying, don't let the past control you. You may have suffered misfortune in the past. You may have gone through some difficult times, but that's over. You have an opportunity now for a new beginning, a new cycle coming in. You have the Six of Swords. It's about moving away from difficulty, moving toward greater harmony. And sometimes it could even mean a physical move. In this card, they're flying by air. In older decks, there's a woman on a boat going across the water. It's traveling. They're traveling across water to a new shore, to a promising new opportunity. So I feel like you have to leave some things behind this month. And you're still healing. You've got the Four of Swords here. This is a card of rest, taking time out to rest, to heal. You've got the Knight of Swords energy in your wish fulfillment. So this could have been the old person. Someone who was very argumentative, someone who was a little bit selfish and reckless, someone who wasn't thinking about other people's needs. They just did, they had their own agenda. And the Knight of Swords can sometimes represent a quick departure. Someone enters or leaves your life suddenly. So it could be that if a breakup happened, it might have happened suddenly. Maybe you just finally decided, I'm done, and you walk out. Or the other person just disappears in the middle of the night. I mean, anything could happen. And that's why you have this Four of Swords. It's like you need rest. You've been through the mill. And you've got the Queen of Swords where you're like Sleeping Beauty behind the thicket. And you're waiting for the prince to fight through all those branches and come and rescue you and wake you up to a new life. And it's coming. You got the Ace of Cups. It's a new beginning. And I think if you're meeting a new person, you're going to find there's more compatibility. And you have a chance to really build a happy home with this person. To find that home, that family, that nurturing that you're looking for. It's almost like the universe is saying, okay, we put you through the mill, now we're going to give you a break. We're going to give you a new beginning in love. That's going to be much better. And you can relax and you can heal within the arms of this new person. So let's see what the angels have to say to Virgo. What do the angels have to say? The Death card is transformation. Your life is changing in major ways, but it's changing for the better. It's not always traumatic. Sometimes what the Death is, it means like you're going to be you're like a new person. When we go through things, sometimes things change us on a deep level, and we can say, I'm not the same person I was before that event. Now I'm this other person, because I've been changed so much by that event. So the worst, I feel like the worst is over, and you can only go up from here. But let's see what the angels are saying. Encouragement. Your love is invaluable to the earth and to those around you. Even though you may not always see the positive effect your love has on others, trust, for it does. Each time you offer love through a loving gesture, thought, or word, you plant a seed of love, and love always generates more love. Trust and continue your loving work. Okay, so let's see what's happening with the astrology. You've got a full moon in your 4th house of home. And the sun's in the 10th house. And it's squaring Saturn. The moon is squaring Saturn. Both the sun and the moon are squaring Saturn in the 7th house. So yeah, you're seeing some truths at this full moon. About a relationship, about your home, your family, your career. It's all coming together. It's like a grand awakening. Because the full moons shed a light on issues, and especially when they're angular, like in your case, the 4th house, the 10th house, the 7th house, those are the angles of your chart. So they're more significant than if it fell in a different house. So you're seeing the truth. Maybe you're even speaking your truth, because Jupiter is about speaking the truth. Things are coming to completion. You might be completing a project in your career. You might be completing a relationship or a home issue. But with Saturn in the 7th house, Saturn brings reality home. So if you're in a relationship and you're avoiding the problems, Saturn will show you the truth. It can be harsh reality. Sometimes it breaks the relationship up because you're seeing things you don't want to see. Like, I never saw that. I never knew that about you. I never saw that about you. Now I'm seeing the truth. And it's not always easy. If the relationship is good, it can bring commitment and discipline and, work. If you want to keep a relationship going, Saturn is saying you have to do work. You have to work at it. It's not going to be easy, but it will be worth it. But you also have Neptune there. So it's possible that with Neptune going through your 7th house, and it's been there for a while, you could have been giving too much of yourself away to a partnership. Maybe attracting people that needed to be rescued, that needed a therapist instead of a partner. And, you were like trying to polish a diamond in the rough. And I think when Saturn entered Pisces, you're realizing, what am I doing? This isn't working. This isn't right. So Mars, now the moon is trining Mars, and Mars is in your 12th house. Now when Mars is in the 12th house, that can be repressed anger. You could be frustrated and resentful. And that when you're not expressing yourself in your anger, it could lead to depression. So you might be feeling a little depressed right now because you can't express your anger, or you feel it's useless. Nobody's listening. No one's hearing you. But Mars in the 12th, in a positive way, is telling you need to work on psychological issues. And if you're willing to do that, you can work on and release, because Mars relates to cutting. You can cut away anything that's been standing in your way or holding you back. You can cut away anything where you've been self-sabotaging. Whatever's not good for you, whatever's not healthy for you, Mars gives you the energy to cut away, to find out, to see what's there, and to cut it away. You have Venus in the 11th house. It's been in Cancer for a while. So your friends have been very supportive. You have a lot of friends, loving friends that have been there for you. Love can pop up from one of the groups you belong to or one of your friendships. A friendship could turn into love. In the 9th house, you have Mercury, Uranus, and Jupiter. So your luck is in the 9th house. With Mercury and Jupiter, you could be having innovative ideas. I mean, you can get an unexpected message from someone from a distance. Maybe you're connecting with someone from a foreign country, or there's like a global market and you're tapping into this global market, and you've got all these creative ideas, you're doing something really creative and unconventional, Jupiter is there. So Jupiter is bringing abundance. It's telling you, get out of your comfort zone, get out of your neighborhood. You need to reach a broader market. Like, you have to make connections worldwide, global connections. So you could be working on some kind of marketing campaign or a website or something that's, I think it's going to be very good for you, very lucky for you. And you're going to be doing something that's cutting edge. And the North Node is there, so it's telling you this is the direction you need to go in. The moon is trining Mars. It's also trining Chiron. And you have Chiron in the 8th house. Chiron in the 8th house has to do with other people's money, the support you feel you're getting or not getting from others. So there might be a wound around forming a deep bond with someone. There might be a wound around money that you share or resources that you share with someone else. Because the 8th house is the house of the shadow, and it's what so you might need some healing on those in that area. Where am I afraid to be intimate in a relationship? Where am I afraid to open up and really merge with another person at the soul level? Am I too dependent on another person's income or support? Do I need to stand on my own more? There's a lot. You have to go deep when you're dealing with the 8th house issues. Now, Venus this month, right after this full moon, Mercury's going to conjunct Uranus. So there could be some unexpected message or opportunity that comes out of the blue that brings a positive opportunity, because Jupiter's there too. Positive opportunity coming to you from a distance. Venus is in Cancer, will be opposing Pluto. And right now, Pluto is in your 6th house. It was in your 5th house. It's going to be moving back to the 5th. But in the 6th, it could affect your health or your work environment. There could be some power struggles with people your colleagues at work, power struggles with a friend over health or work issues. When Pluto moves back into the 5th house, you could have some issues around children or romance partners. Because Pluto is moving back into Capricorn. It's going retrograde, and it's going to be in Capricorn until the end of the year. And then next year, it will go back into Aquarius. And we'll go back into your 6th house. And that's when it's going to really transform your work environment. And it's going to really transform the way you deal with your health and taking care of yourself, and the way you deal with sacrificing for everyone. You're going to have to, confront those issues. Am I giving too much of myself away? Am I sacrificing too much for everyone else and not taking care of my own needs? What about the work that I do? What needs to change? But now when Pluto moves back into Capricorn, it's going to be affecting the 5th house matters, which would be creative self-expression. So if you ever wanted to write something or communicate something or do something creative, you have a powerful art and music or drama, anything creative can really transform you in a way. It could be healing. I feel like it could be healing. Mars will be squaring Jupiter. Mars is in your 12th house, square Jupiter. So you are going to get involved in something that's exciting and innovative. Just don't go over the top with it. Don't try to be too forceful. Go with the flow. And if you have any issues, speak up about it. Don't hold your anger in. Jupiter's going to be sextiling Saturn. So if you're forming a business partnership or a partnership with someone from a distance, and you're working on a really exciting creative project, this could be positive, because it can lead to creating something really solid and stable. But you will have to take action to make it happen. It's not going to just drop in your lap. Okay, so Saturn is going to retrograde on the 17th, just before the new moon. And that can make you rethink partnership issues. Maybe you might be rethinking how negotiating your partnerships. And that could be business or personal. And then we have a new moon in Gemini in your 10th house on the 18th. So that's a new beginning in your career sector. And Mercury is there. You might be signing contracts at this time. Or you might be doing something that involves communication, writing, marketing. All of those things. It offers this is positive energy to create something new. And the new moon is sextile the North Node in Taurus. So you could be involved in a global market. You could be teaching, learning. The 9th house moves higher education, long distance travel. Teaching, learning, spiritual beliefs. You could be getting involved in some kind of project that involves spirituality. It's exciting. The only thing, it's squaring Neptune in the 7th. So if you're signing any contracts or if you're creating something new, Neptune can bring creativity and inspiration, inspired ideas. But you also want to make sure that you check out any new partners, make sure they're reputable, make sure you can trust them. Because Neptune can also bring idealism and confusion and illusion. You want to make sure that you're hooking up with the right people. Saturn is there too, so I think Saturn should keep things real. You won't go off the deep end with Saturn there. Saturn's watching your back. Venus and Mars are going to come together in your 12th house when Venus moves into Leo. And at this full moon, at this new moon, Venus is already in Leo. And in the 12th house, you could have hidden feelings, secret feelings for someone. Maybe you're not talking about it. You have a crush on somebody. At this point, Pluto has moved into Capricorn and is in your 5th house. It's really great for creative self-expression because Pluto brings this powerful, you have this powerful need to communicate and to express yourself. And you could do some really powerful work at this time. Venus is squaring Jupiter, so if you're feeling good, you're going to be really excited about this new project. But don't go over the top with it. Don't go spending all kinds of money on it. Be realistic, and because sometimes Venus square Jupiter can lead to excess spending, excess eating, excess drink. Whatever you're doing it in excess. So just be more, a little bit more conservative or frugal with things. And as a Virgo, I think that you should be okay. Because Virgos, they don't usually waste anything. Mars is squaring Uranus. So if you're upset about something, you may get your buttons pushed. Release your anger in healthy ways. Just don't let it build up and then you explode. If you're upset about something, communicate. Communication is key this month. The focus is on communication because we've got the new moon in Gemini, and it's time to tell your story. It's time to speak up. It's time to communicate. So don't hold anything back this month. And I think you'll be fine. But there might be an event that pushes your buttons or makes you freak out because Mars square Uranus is a little bit, it's kind of like a volatile connection. So is Venus opposed Pluto. So there could be some areas in a relationship where you feel, there's some type of power struggle. You feel really strongly about something and you're wanting to demand that things go your way. Or Mars square Uranus, there could be a sudden blow up where you have words with someone over an issue that you feel really strongly about. So I'm telling people, don't overreact. If someone pushes your buttons, count to 10 before you respond, before you hit the email send button. Maybe think it over a day before you overreact. Don't overreact. And you should be fine. But I feel like you have some exciting developments coming up this month that may come out of the blue. Something you were not even expecting. All of a sudden, here's this new opportunity, and you're real excited about it. So it's okay to be excited about something, and it's okay to want to jump in and do it, but just calm yourself down first. Don't just be reckless, and you'll be fine. Just take it one day at a time, and you'll experience the harvest of the Empress. So things look great for your career. Things look